Welcome to Cedar's Compass, where we explore the dynamic interplay between our inner landscape and our planet's ecology. Delve deep into the worlds of science, medicine, and philosophy as we discover the threads that weave us into the larger tapestry of life on Earth. So we have the concept of the mind. We also have the concept of the brain. And the brain is really a physiological structure. But the mind is something else. It's actually not a tangible thing. It actually exists outside of, on top of, as part of the physiological structures that make up the body. And where it's so interesting is that if we go back to Taoist thought and we look at what symbolized mind, this term is called yi, and yi is housed in the spleen organ network or the digestive center. We've talked about this in other videos where there's a mesenteric nervous system around the central digestive place in our bodies. That is where the mind is thought to be centered in Taoist thought. Today, we often think that the brain is the place that the mind is centered. And I want to just go deeper into why I think that the Taoist idea that the mind is centered in the digestive system is more accurate and has more application for us. Whether you're in medicine or you're a person who works at a job, whatever it is, you think about things, that's your mind, right? The mind is how we contemplate, it's how we consider, it's how we worry. It's all these different things that we think of as thought, right? And there's musical minds, there are science minds, there are mathematical minds. There's all kinds of different ideas we have around the mind. But it's not a physical structure. When we talk about the mind, we don't know where it comes from, like, in neurological sense. So this idea that it actually originates from the digestive center stems from the fact that we're digesting the life experience, whatever it is, physical, emotional, mental, spiritual, right at the center of our body. And that the nervous system that is around that experience is actually the structure that generates the thought. And before it's actually thought in terms of like, I'm going to talk to you about the thing that it is, the language, there's a feeling that I have. There's a feeling. And the feeling generates the thought that generates the language that I can express. So we're going back to a deeper point of mind here. And I want to just make sure that we understand that this idea from ancient Taoist thought, very commonly used as a concept in traditional Chinese medicine, is a thought that has deep weaves into the physiology of the body everywhere. So the spleen organ network is actually representative not only of the mind and the thought, but it's also representative of the muscles, the tissue in your body that gives the lift to what you are, to who you are. You see people when they have a deep deficiency in their digestion, you've seen these people, you can see they're wan, pale, people who get very sick in the digestive system, their microbiota are deeply imbalanced, more on this. And then you'll see that as that system starts to break down, there's a pattern of muscle weakness, flabbiness, and sinking that starts to happen. So the digestive system holds up the energy, it lifts the body. This is part of how this connection to the spleen, the yi, the intelligence, and our intellect, the uprightness and clarity of our mind is maintained. So this gets back to the importance of maintaining clear, strong digestion so that you can have clear, strong musculoskeletal system, so you can have that lift. It's in the muscles, it's in the mind, but remember, it's also in the nervous system. It's deeply woven into the nervous system. And when we get into this idea of metabolism, right, which is a huge topic that we're going to dig into deeply, metabolism is this process that we've talked about, right? I mean, there's many different layers of it, but you're breaking something down into smaller bits and turning it into something else. Well, that's what thinking is, right? I'll leave you with that for today. Thanks so much for being here. We've got lots more material coming for you.